Good evening. I'd like to call this regular meeting of the Bolingbrook Village Board to order. We'd like to start with the Pledge of Allegiance to our flag. I'd like to ask Billy Hurt to come up and lead the Pledge to the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Billy. Mr. Earth is very active in the Bolingbrook Lions Club and also very active in the Chamber of Commerce. Got two or three things before we get into the regular agenda. First of all, a good friend of mine for many, many years. He's unfortunately no longer with us, but was on the Police and Fire Board for many, many years. Passed away, but his son, Sean, who lives in Plainfield, is Dennis Meehan, and his wife lived in Ashbury for a very long time. In fact, Pam, I believe, still lives there. But Sean lives in Plainfield, but brought this over today and dropped it off in my office. I didn't get a chance to see him. But talk about a museum piece. It's an aluminum old Chicago, Bolingbrook, Illinois plate.
Nice.
I mean, I have never seen one of these. This is a classic museum piece, and it's solid. If it's not plastic. So thoughtful of him to bring it by. And in fact, it was laying on the counter by my office, and I thought, you know, I better put this in the office so somebody just doesn't. But it's a very cool piece with this. I don't know if you can see it on. I don't know if I can zero in on that or not. Next door.
Oh, yeah.
It's a very nice wall.
There it goes.
Well, you can see it or not, but again, Old Chicago, Bolingbrook, Illinois, and the symbol of Old Chicago in the center. Very cool piece, so I'll share that with you. Secondly, it was just brought to my attention, I didn't see it myself, but Jackie Randall brought this by. We know we have expensive water in Bolingbrook. I think most people know that. And that's predominantly because it's Lake Michigan water. And for those of you that have been around a while, or maybe not been around a while, back in the late 80s and 90s, we were concerned about our water supply because as this area grew, Bolingbrook grew, Romeville grew, Plainfield grew. It's not like there's a Bolingbrook aquifer below us and a Plainfield aquifer and a Joliet aquifer. We're all drawn out of the same aquifer below us. And I was concerned about our future for water because that's one of the things you have to have is available water and sewage treatment. Those are two critical things to a government. Not particularly sexy items, but they're things you got to plan for. So this board searched out to get a solution to that, and we cut a deal with Citizens Utilities. Unfortunately, they immediately sold it to Illinois American, which has not been such a good, they haven't always been as nice as Citizens Utility, was not as nice either, but anyway, we got Lake Michigan water, and it's expensive. You know, most water systems in older communities were put in place 100, 125 years ago and just simply modified or upgraded since then. Bolingbrook had to bring in Lake Michigan water and pay our share along with four other communities, Homer, Woodridge, Romeville, and Lamont. And we brought it in, and it's expensive. And I understand that, but it's forever. And I felt comfortable about making the deal because now we didn't have to worry about our future for water availability. And what we're going to see, and we're seeing it already, is people playing catch-up because unfortunately is determined, it's been determined by several people, and they've known it for like 5 years when it was first published, that they're going to run out of water by 2030. Now, that's right around the corner. May seem like a long way out, but that's only 10 or 11 years. And in order to find an alternative water source, be it Lake Michigan, be it the Kankakee River, or be it more wells, you don't make those decisions overnight. You have to buy the property, right-of-way acquisition, get the engineering work done, they're thinking about maybe bringing a pipeline from the city of Chicago directly to Joliet. They got to acquire the land all the way between here and there. Not everybody owns land is willing to give it up. They want to sell it, they'll put a big price on it. They'll go to court, have to condemn it, take a couple of years, and so on and so forth. Anyway, somebody was doing something I couldn't. What is that? Is that? Anyway, Joliet's are now studying it. They don't have a solution just yet. And the paper, this is Joliet Times Weekly. Headline is Joliet hikes water and sewer rates by 18.7% just through 2021. And they don't even have an alternative yet. That's a big hike, folks. And again, in the end, I think people do now appreciate Lake Michigan water. When we went to Lake Michigan water, people were able to get rid of their water softeners. I don't know if anybody's got one anymore. Didn't have to no longer haul salt every month down the basement, dump it in a tank. That cost of operation was offset by having Lake Michigan water. So I'm not saying Joliet's got a problem. They do. But we ventured out there and took care of the problem early on, and I'm very proud of that. So we'll see. Next, some other good news for you that, again, follow what goes on. A couple years ago, we had our bond rating lowered by what some people refer to as a tick, one level. And that's because of a lot of issues. It's a complicated process. But we were notified this week that because of our financial situation and the way we handle things in this village, our bond rating is being increased by 3 ticks. We've gone from an A2 to a AA, which is considered high-grade financial situation. And I have a report from Standard & Poor's. I think most of you are familiar with Standard & Poor's. I'm just going to read a few quotes from it. Management has reported a very strong operating surpluses during the past several fiscal years, which we expect will continue. Management has demonstrated a willingness and ability to pay beyond its required contributions. Strong economy in Bolingbrook, strong management, very strong budgetary performance, very strong budgetary flexibility, very strong liquidity. We consider Bolingbrook's economy very strong, realistic and well-grounded assumptions when setting up the annual budget. While we note the absence of formal policy and procedures in certain areas in our management has consistently maintained balanced operation despite lack of formal policies. Bolingbrook's budgetary performance is very strong in our opinion. And here's one that, again, we took garbage off the property tax bill last year. The critics are running and saying we've established a garbage tax, which is a total lie. Garbage for years in this village was on the property tax bill. People wanted to see their property tax bill lowered. Garbage is not necessary. We were one of 1 or 2 communities in suburban Chicago that had it on the property tax bill. So we took it off the property tax bill, and this year went to direct billing. Same price. And this report points out, last year, as we've told people, $5.5 million was transferred to the refuse and recycling fund from the surpluses. So the village absorbed last year's garbage cost. But this year we had to go back to direct billing. Very strong budgetary flexibility. It's just extremely complimentary. And admittedly, they do say we have a lot of debt. But they know we're paying it off. We know they've reduced it. And they know there's mechanisms in place to take care of it. So I'm very proud of this. You got questions, or you have a copy? I passed out copies tonight. So our village is financially very strong, contrary to what some people might try to suggest. Anything you'd like to add?
No, I think you covered it well, Mayor.
All right. Next, we have some proclamations, or reports, I should say. First, Community Service Council take back tonight. I assume Bob Kalnicki is going to talk about that. Bob, it's all yours.
Thank you, Mayor. Just wanted to let everybody know that October, if you're not aware, is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. So next Tuesday, a week from tonight, the 29th, Community Service Council will be having their second annual Take Back the Night event at our offices over at 440 Quadrangle. This event is designed to bring the community out, bring them together, and raise awareness regarding the issues surrounding domestic violence. We're going to have a number of partner agencies on site, but we're also making this a family-friendly event. So we are looking for kids to come out in costume as their favorite hero. The thought being that every victim, when they go through these terrible things, become a hero ultimately in the end. So we want to celebrate that part. And we're going to, again, have a number of partner agencies on site, including Bolingbrook Police Department, Guardian Angels, Will County State's Attorney's Office. Also, we're going to have food trucks, a bouncy house for the kids, candy to give away. So we're doing all this. It's not the typical type domestic violence event, but what we're doing is doing it a little bit different, trying to raise awareness and get people out. Looked at the weather earlier today. Looks a little sketchy for next Tuesday. We were planning on having this in the parking lot. If we do need to call an audible, we'll notify everybody of that, and we'll move it inside to our office space inside. Right now, they're talking about 45 and wind and snow and rain mix. So if needed, we're going to move it inside, but it will be, again, next Tuesday, the 29th, 6 to 9 p.m. at the CSC offices on Quadrangle. Questions? All right, thank you.
Thanks, Bob. Thank you. Next, Operation Christmas Annual Fundraiser. Take a close look at this sport coat. Boy, the shoes.
And the shoes. First, I want to start off by thanking our village for everything that they do for Operation Christmas. We've been on the stage for 19 years. Last year, we were able to take care of 487 families, over 1,200 children through Operation Christmas. So without our village, we wouldn't be able to do that. So I wanted to thank you guys for all you do for us. This year, we plan on roughly about having the same amount of people that need assistance. So every year, we try to have our annual fundraiser. This is our 5th year doing this. We'll have it at Tailgaters on November 2nd. I know we've got Bears tickets, Blackhawks tickets this year, a bunch of baskets that have been donated. All this money goes back to help purchase new toys that will be given out this year. So thank you guys for all that you do.
You have those sport coats that you can,
I will find one just for you, sir.
no.
Hey, Lee, I've got some unused Cubs season World Series tickets if you want those.
The Arts Commission was going to make a presentation. Nobody told me they were here for that, so I don't know if we're going to do that or not. Apparently not. One more comment about the village debt. This board, or some of the members of this board and previous boards over the past 25 years, made a decision to build out the public infrastructure of this community. We widened all the roads as necessary. We built our industrial park roads, Crossroads Parkway and Linden Boulevard, with the intent of attracting businesses. And if you drive down either one of those roads, it certainly worked. They've brought in millions and millions of square feet of businesses. We also, at the same time, where we needed to widen roads, such as Rodeo Drive, from front of the golf course west, 150th Street now dead ends at 4 lanes going west. Those properties all go through vacant land, vacant farmland. And we've assigned recaptures on all those roads. So in other words, when somebody buys the land where 115th Street goes westerly, they will have to pay for the building of 115th Street, not you. That'll go into the buyer, whoever the home builder, because those will all be residential. The same is true with the Bronx Farm, which is across the street from the golf course. Whoever buys that Bronx Farm will put in the cost of widening Rodale Drive. So we've applied recaptures throughout the village. So in essence, what I'm saying, this village should never have to issue another bond again. Now, when I say that, I said village. School may, park may, library may, but the village should not have to, because we have our infrastructure in place. We have Lake Michigan water, and we have a sewage treatment capability forever. So when I leave office, which is in the near future, when I leave office, I will leave knowing that we have taken care of all that public infrastructure. Now it's just a matter of paying it off in a very responsible way, and annually we've been doing so, as evidenced by that report. So, and you'll hear more later when we accept our treasurer's report. Now let's get into appointments. We have an appointment tonight, new appointment to beautification, and a reappointment to beautification. Well, Deborah Savage, Commissioner, for new appointment. Reappointment, Phyllis Rosario and Lola Shima, Commissioner. And we're going to do all the approvals first. Plan Commission, new appointment, Barrington Tucker. Reappointments, Terry Bethune, Rick Campos, Margaret Hegner, and Calvin Wright. And Terry will also be Vice Chair. Arts Council, reappointments, Hillary Rosenthal and Alenia Humphreys, Commissioner, and Janice Kessel, Commissioner. Bolingbrook Community Television, Jim Singer, Chair, Jerry Strickland, Vice Chair. That.
Mayor, we did skip approval of the agenda.
We'll come back to that. Fire Pension Board, new appointment, Billy Hirth. Reappointment, Ricardo Morales. Reappointments to Police and Fire Board, oh, they're being taken off the agenda, that's why, you're right. So those will be, is there a motion to approve those appointments?
So moved.
Second?
Motion by trustee Watts, seconded trustee Zarate. Questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Now, it's pointed out to me that I passed over approval of the agenda. Is there a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved. Second?
Motion by trustee Basta, seconded by trustee Lawler. Jim?
Yes, we'd ask that we strike commission appointments number 6, Police and Fire Board, and we'll revisit that at a future
Okay.
meeting.
Motion to approve the agenda as amended?
So moved.
Well, got that. But any questions? All in
Second?
favor, say aye.
Aye.
Vote agenda is approved. Back to the reappointments. I'd like to ask, start with the Beautification Commission. Deborah Savage, please come forward. And also Phyllis Ruggiero and Lola Fushima. Deborah Savage is a new appointment. She's been a resident of Bolingbrook for 13 years. She was a nurse, works for Chamberlain University. Come on up here, please. Hello. Okay. Raise your right hand. I state your name.
I, Deborah Savage,
You solemnly swear
do solemnly swear to
uphold the Constitution of the United States,
uphold the Constitution of the United States,
Constitution of the State of Illinois,
Constitution of the State of Illinois,
Municipal Code of the Village of Bolingbrook.
the municipal code of the Village of Bolingbrook.
I will faithfully discharge my duties
I will faithfully discharge my duties
as a member of the Beautification Commission
as a member of the beautification
to the best of my ability
to the best of my ability
in a manner prescribed by law.
in the manner prescribed by law.
Congratulations. Congratulations. There's yours. And yours. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, here. Deb. Bolingbrook pen. Next, Plan Commission, new appointment, Barrington Tucker, and reappointments, Terry Bethune, Rick Campos, Margaret Hegmer, and Calvin Wright. I don't think Margaret's here, but the rest of you come up here, please. The new appointments, Barrington Tucker, 40-year resident of Bolingbrook, now retired, lives way out west on Kemmer Lane. He's having seen the village grow, would like to be part of the growth. Now he's retired and nothing to do, right? All right. You'll raise your right hands, please. I state your names.
I, Terry Lynn Bethune,
You solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
to uphold the Constitution of the United States,
to uphold the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
Constitution of the State of Illinois,
Municipal Code of the Village of Bolingbrook,
Municipal Code of the Village of Bolingbrook,
and I will faithfully discharge my duties
I will faithfully discharge my duty
as a member of the Planning Commission
as a member of the Planning Commission,
to the best of my ability
best of my ability,
in a manner prescribed by law.
in a manner prescribed by law.
Okay? Here's yours. Terry?
Thank you.
Pretty sharp, isn't it? Galvin? Thank you. Everyone for a pen for you. Thank you. Welcome aboard. Next, we have Arts Council. I know Hillary's not here. Melania Humphreys, I know, is here. Janet, is Janice okay? Would you come up, please? Would you come right up here, please? These are reappointments. So, if you would, raise your right hand, please. No, you're the reappointments. I state your name.
I, Janice Kessel,
You solemnly swear
solemnly swear
that I uphold the Constitution of the United States,
the United States,
Constitution of the State of Illinois,
Constitution of the State of Illinois,
the Municipal Code of the Village of Bolingbrook,
the Municipal Code of the Village of Bolingbrook,
and I will faithfully discharge my duties
I will faithfully discharge my duties
as a member of the Arts Council Commission
as a member of the Arts Council
to the best of my ability
to the best of my ability
in a manner prescribed by law.
and the manner prescribed by law.
Okay, welcome aboard. Thank you. And next we have Fireman Pension Board. Billy Hurst, new appointment, and Ricardo Morales, reappointment. Billy Hurst, 6-year resident. Mentioned earlier, very active in the chamber, Lions Club, went to Purdue. Do they have a football team?
No, not anymore.
Got a bachelor's degree in hospitality and what management?
Tourism.
Tourism. And now he's a financial advisor, so, hey, you know. Anyway, welcome, Bill. He's been very active in town, and glad to see him getting involved. So, if you would, I state your name.
I, Billy Hurst,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
to uphold the Constitution of the United States,
to uphold the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
the municipal code of the Village of Bolingbrook. I will faithfully discharge my duties
I will faithfully discharge my duties
as a member of the Fire Pension Board
as a member of the Fire Pension Board
to the best of my ability
to the best of my ability
in a manner prescribed by law.
in a manner prescribed by law.
Okay? Gentlemen. Okay? Oh, Billy, wait. Well, you got one. You want another one? We got a lot of them. Okay, and you know, we'll deal with the Fire and Police Board at a future meeting.
Mayor, BCT got skipped.
Oh, yeah, I saw Jerry back there too. Okay, come on up, Jerry, and I think also Jim? Jim Singer and Jerry Strickland. I will say, while these two are coming up, these two people you may not know, and you, but they're two of the backbone of Bolingbrook Community Television, something everybody takes for granted. But all these meetings are taken care of by these two guys and their commission members. The jubilees, the festivals, the recordings of all those things, the plan commission are all done by these people. And it's a thankless job, and it's not always convenient for their personal lives to have to come out and do a board meeting twice a month at 8 o'clock on the second and fourth Tuesday of the month, or a plan commission, or a festival all day. And, you know, it's like some of the village functions. The Jubilee, for example. We videotape a lot of those things. You might not like rock and roll music, so standing and listening to rock and roll music for 8 hours is a little tedious. But they do it. They do it in all weather conditions. You've seen them out there with little tents when it's drizzling. You see them out there when in the tents when it's 95 or 100 degrees out there and no wind. So I just want to give you those guys a plug. They're being reappointed. Jim is chair and Jerry is vice chair. So these are the brains of the operation, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. I state your names.
I, Jerry Strickland,
You solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
to uphold the Constitution of the United States,
to uphold the Constitution of the United States,
Constitution of the State of Illinois,
Constitution of the State of Illinois,
municipal code of the Village of Bolingbrook.
municipal code of the Village of
I
Bolingbrook.
will faithfully discharge my duties
I will faithfully discharge my duties
as a member of Bolingbrook Community Television and chair and vice chair,
as a member of Bolingbrook Community Television and Vice Chair,
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
in a manner prescribed by law.
in the manner prescribed by law. Thank you.
Good, Jerry. There's yours.
Thank you, sir.
There's yours.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Next, we have the portion of the agenda where people present this evening would like to speak about any items on the agenda. Is there anybody here this evening who would like to speak on an agenda item that's on the published agenda? If you'd like to speak about any other issue, that's later on in the agenda. Seeing none, we'll move on.
I've never been here before, so I don't know exactly. I was here to talk about a parking issue.
That's later.
Okay, thank you, sorry.
Well, it's not on the agenda. Bill approval, Exhibit A, $1,733,396.43. Exhibit B, $363,042.39. Total of $2,096,438.82. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion trustee Jesuit, second trustee Carpenzano. Questions? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Trustee Zarate?
Yes.
Trustee Lawler?
Yes.
Trustee Basto?
Yes.
Trustee Watts?
Yes.
Trustee Carpenzano?
Yes.
Trustee Jaskowitz?
Yes.
Tax receipts, July 2019 state income tax, $436,533.99, corresponding to a year ago of $450,271.10, or a 3.5% decrease. August 2019 sales tax, $2,844,526.79, corresponding to a year ago of $2,733,880.25, or a 4% increase, which is great news. August 2019 motor fuel tax, $243,971.02, corresponding to a year ago of $160,375.92, or a 52.1% increase. That is a direct reflection of our share of the gas tax increase that was passed by the Illinois General Assembly. We get a piece of that called motor fuel tax. And our 2019 state administrative fee, $22,590.68. That's what the General Assembly decided to steal from us a couple years ago by withholding 2% of our sales tax generated each month for a supposed collection fee cost. And it's a big chunk of money that they decide to keep so they could balance their budget on our backs. By keeping money that traditionally we got, they just kept some. So we have to generate revenues to offset that. First motion this evening. Motion to continue the ordinance authorizing notice of contemplated involuntary annexation of certain unincorporated territory to the November 26th board meeting. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion trustee Basta, second trustee Lawler. This ordinance is an involuntary annexation of 18.796 acres of property located south of I-55 near Crossroads Parkway. The annexation was subject to a judicial stay issued prior to the September 24th board meeting. The circuit court order has been appealed, and the appellate court has entered into a briefing schedule that gives the landowner, Ed James, until November 8, 2019 to file a response, after which the court will issue a ruling. Therefore, consideration of annexation needs to be continued to the November 26th board meeting. This 18.796 acres has a junkyard on it, a very ugly junkyard with many vehicles rusted out. You can see through the cars, you can see through the sides of the semi-trailer trucks. It's infested with weeds and overgrown, and it's ugly in the middle of our business park, and is affecting the property values of things around it. And it is not active. There's nothing in there worth keeping, and it's all total junk. And we're trying to annex that property, and hopefully we'll get it cleaned up. So, but we're going to continue this to November 26th meeting while Mr. James' attorney plays games in the Joliet court system. Questions? Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Zarate?
Yes.
Trustee Lawler?
Yes.
Trustee Basta?
Yes.
Trustee Watts?
Yes.
Trustee Carpenzano?
Yes.
Trustee Jaskowitz?
Yes.
The next motion is to accept the annual treasury report of receipts and disbursements for fiscal year 2018-19. Is there a motion?
So move.
Second?
Motion trustee Watts, second trustee Zarate. This resolution accepts the treasury report for fiscal year 2018 through 2019. Total receipts from all sources, including interfund transfers, was $146,978,055. Total expenses from all resources included transfers and capital expenditures, $137,027,027,000. The general corporate fund has revenues of $82,376,364, and expenditures with transfers of $73,932,655. The general fund balance is increased by $8,443,699. Upon acceptance, this report will be posted on the village website and in the local paper. Mr. Bone, any comment?
Yes, I'd just like to point out, as the mayor stated earlier, in our bond rating, this shows that $8 million surplus going into the general fund balance is proof of our liquidity, and the board's mindful of the budget and expenditures.
And a significant part of that will be used to reduce our debt further, as we've done the last year or so. But it shows good financial management on the part of staff, and I want to thank the staff publicly for doing that. So that's the only motion. The first resolution is a resolution agreement with Nationwide Retirement Systems, Retirement Solutions, Inc. Is there a motion?
So moved. Second?
Motion trustee Basta, second trustee Zarate. I think I will bring you two up here, since you're all dressed up and came all the way here. The village retained Mesro to investigate consolidating the 457 deferred compensation plans that were being offered to employees. Currently, 4 firms offer plans. After looking at the 4 plans, the cost and investment options, we decided to request proposals and use one vendor. 9 firms requested or responded to the request for a proposal, the RFP. After analyzing the proposals, 4 firms were interviewed by Mesro and the staff. The 4 firms were then reduced to 2 firms. The 2 were interviewed by the Finance Committee, and Nationwide was selected as the vendor to do this. The employees, 192 active participants, will save approximately $150,000 per year in fees and costs by consolidating the plans with one provider. At the podium now, we have 2 people that, one is Vince Allegra with Mesro Financial, a financial advisor, who initiated this study to look at the 9 firms and decide which one would be best, and has the idea. This will save the employees a lot of money in the fee structure charged by people who do 457 plans. And with him is Jim Beck, with Nationwide, who was the successful, the one that was recommended we accept. Vince, would you just give us a quick highlight of what you did?
Sure. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So this is the conclusion of a year-long process. We did the analysis. We were able to identify a great opportunity for the village to add value to current and former employees through a substantial savings in their deferred comp plans. So going through this process, it was a highly competitive process. As the mayor mentioned, we got 9 RFP responses, whittled it down over a process of several months. The winning provider recommendation was Nationwide. We expect about a 70% savings, or about $150,000 per year, to be passed on to employees through a higher balance in the retirement accounts. On top of that, one of the requirements was also that Nationwide would be on site 12 days per year, meeting with employees one-on-one. So not only are employees going to benefit from lower fees, they're also going to get one-on-one investment advice to help them get on track and stay on track for successful retirement.
Let's clarify something. The fees are direct savings to the employees. This is a service we provide. The village is not participating in these plans per se. The employees come to us, say, I want to be part of Nationwide, I want to be part of VALIC, or part of whatever. We implement that structure, but it's a service we've always provided, but it makes sense to have one provider, and that's what
Exactly right.
they determine.
So currently today, the village employees have $20 million spread over 4 providers. By going to one, you're able to leverage that asset base to reduce pricing for everybody. And as the mayor mentioned, the village does not subsidize the fees. The employees in these plans pay 100% of the fees, which now that savings goes 100% back to employees in a higher rate of return, which hopefully will be a much larger balance when they eventually retire.
And the village gets nothing out of this. We don't get any fee or any piece of the action or whatever else. It's strictly for the employee group. Jim Beck's with Nationwide. Jim, would you like to comment a bit about why you think you were selected?
Sure. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. It's pretty simple. Our motto at Nationwide is, with retirement plans, is help America's workers prepare for and live through retirement. And we do that by the interactions that we have with all the village employees. the employees have a great pension, but that may not be enough for them to live comfortably in retirement. And through this 457, this deferred comp plan, we work with all your employees and advise and provide that guidance and advice to help them save more so they can live comfortably through retirement. And then real briefly, Nationwide is the #1 provider of deferred compensation plans throughout the nation. And I think with our level of service and our experience, and obviously the fees, being very competitive on the fees, that's why we want and we know we'll be able to provide great service to the village employees.
One of the things I said on the interview, the last interview, one of the things that I was impressed with Nationwide, and you can describe it much better than I, but they put together an individual retirement package for each employee. And what does that all include?
We have an interactive retirement planner, and we'll work through the employees. They see their
Closer to the mic.
They see their account balance, and they also see their pension, what's available to them when they retire for their pension. So they'll see all their assets holistically, and in one spot, and we work with them on how that'll impact their retirement. What are their needs? So again, through this high-tech and high-touch model, we'll sit there and help them plan and strategize for a successful retirement.
So you're kind of a financial planner, right? Right, Billy?
No comment.
Well, but it's a nice service to provide, and it's something Nationwide does over and above simply administering the plan. They actually take and see what you've got. They look at your assets. They don't get access to it unless you provide them that.
Correct.
So if an employee wants this, you can provide everything that you have, your assets, your home value, your mortgage, and they'll put together a plan for you on what you should be setting aside based on how you want to live and what kind of, your lifestyle.
Right. It's up to the employees what level they want to take it, but yes, we can also provide that detailed financial planning for them and their spouse.
Questions, board?
I just want to comment, the explanation and the detail that was given to us during the Finance Committee meeting was very thorough, and we appreciate it. And sometimes financial planning is difficult to understand for many folks, and it became clear as to why Nationwide was recommended. And
On your side?
Yep. Yes, Nationwide is on our side.
I won't be singing the jingle, sorry.
You don't want me singing. But we appreciate the level of detail and the commitment to taking care of our employees.
I'll make just one additional comment. Great presentation, and for the employees, it was comforting to know that if they do have a financial advisor that they're comfortable with, they are more than welcome to continue using that financial advisor. So that was very nice to include that in the presentation for our employees here.
The question I have is, how much do you guys pay Peyton Manning every year?
That I don't know.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Questions? Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Zarate.
Yes.
Trustee Lawler.
Yes.
Trustee Basta.
Yes.
Trustee Watts.
Yes.
Trustee Carpenzano.
Yes.
Trustee Jesselson.
Yes.
It was pointed out to me that we did not have a roll call vote accepting the treasury report. So we have it, is it simple as just having a roll call vote? And
There was a motion. We had a motion and a second.
There was a motion. It just-
yeah, but we intervened with something else.
No, just simple as that.
All right, roll call vote, please.
Trustee Zarate.
Yes.
Trustee Lawler.
Yes.
Trustee Basta.
Yes.
Trustee Watts.
Yes.
Trustee Carpenzano.
Yes.
Trustee Jesselson.
Yes.
Okay, sorry about that. A lot of different unrelated issues on a complicated agenda. Next resolution approving an intergovernmental agreement between the Village of Bolingbrook and the Department of Health Care and Family Services. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion trustee Lawler, second trustee Carpenzano. This resolution approves an intergovernmental agreement with the Illinois Department of Health Care and Family Services and the Village of Bolingbrook Fire Department for reimbursement of ambulance services. The current Medicare transport rate is $172. This agreement establishes the village rate of $2,090, subject to a cost-sharing 50% with the state. The village's reimbursement rate will be $1,045 per transport. The current village resident non-Medicaid transport is $804.25 and $1,086.82 for advanced life support. The new IGA rate will bring Medicaid transports closer to being aligned with the resident insurance reimbursement rates. Public Safety Committee has reviewed and recommends approval. In other words, these are set to match the reimbursement rates by the Medicaid policies. We're just trying to get our share to offset. That's what the policies allow to reimburse, so we're going to access as much of that as we can. Questions? Roll call.
I just think it's important that the residents know that our cost for every ambulance run is significantly higher than what we're actually allowed to get reimbursed for. Ken, isn't the average cost about $4,000 per run?
It depends on the service that's provided, but it can be even higher than that based upon, how many life-saving efforts we made, drugs that are pushed, and everything else. So we're looking about $4,000, and Medicaid is around $2,090 for their cost sharing.
Correct.
Any other questions? Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Zarate.
Yes.
Trustee Lawler.
Yes.
Trustee Vasta.
Yes.
Trustee Watts.
Yes.
Trustee Carpenzano.
Yes.
Trustee Jaskowitz.
Yes.
The next resolution approving change orders for third-party building inspection service contracts. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion trustee Chazwo, second trustee Watts. This resolution approves a change order to the contracts for third-party building inspections. The rates will stay the same as in the original contract. This resolution increases the contract's amount for construction code services by B&F Construction Code Services by $65,000, TPI Building Code Consultants by $40,000, and HR Green by $98,000. Total increase for inspection services is $203,000. This increase is due to the increased number of permits, as well as roof and siding permits due to the hail damage experienced this summer. The additional cost will be offset by the additional number of permits being issued. Public Service Committee has reviewed and recommends approval. I've gotten more calls this year on permits being late. I don't mean to suggest there's been dozens of them, just probably a dozen. But what happened this spring is we had hail damage and siding damage on a lot of houses in addition to the normal pool, deck permits, whatever. Because of that increased number of inspections, we hired out, I did 5 outside inspectors. These are increasing the amounts of the contracts because the additional number of inspections were required. And what happened was the damage occurred. Adjusters come in and just go through the neighborhoods and point out to people, you got siding damage, you got roof damage. And a lot of people got new roofs out of it. I'm not saying they weren't warranted, but all those roofs have to be inspected. And in safety to you and to make sure your money's being spent well, we need to inspect, after the roof's taken off, we need to inspect the subroof to see if it's sufficient or in a good condition to put on a new roof. We also have to check for something called the rain, what do you call it? Rain guard?
Yeah, rain guard.
Ice and water shield?
Yeah.
Ice and water shield, make sure that's installed correctly. That takes time. And if you got 50 roofs being replaced in 24,000 households at one time, it takes time to drive to all these places. We did hire outside inspectors. That's why we're increasing them out, because we had to use them so much. But we are getting caught up, but it's been slow in some cases to get permits issued. It's just a matter of, we're not going to staff up for this. We hire outside people to avoid having the permanent staff members. Questions?
I just want to make a comment. I got compliments from a few neighbors who, they had their roofing replaced, and the inspector found some damage on the roof, and so they appreciated the service provided by the village, and it saved them damage down the road. So, and I know people are understanding the delay with all the, many or most are understanding the delay with.
Some are more understanding than others.
Yes. The ones I talk to are understanding, but they appreciate the detail that the inspector goes through to save them money down the road.
Questions? Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Zarate.
Yes.
Trustee Lawler.
Yes.
Trustee Vasta.
Yes.
Trustee Watts.
Yes.
Trustee Carpenzano.
Yes.
Trustee Jaskowitz.
Yes.
Next resolution approving various vendor proposals for fall tree replacements, not fallen tree, fall tree, the season. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Motion trustee
Second.
Carpenzano, second trustee Zarate. The village over the last handful of years has removed 10,000 dead ash trees that were affected by the emerald ash borer. We have planted 9,000 replacements. The replacements are a diverse variety of trees to prevent future large deforestation due to invasive insects or disease. This resolution approves the village fall tree planting program.
It authorized the purchase of 500 trees from American Landscaping for $193,500, which is $387 per tree. 500 trees from Siebert Landscape for $215,430 per tree. And 29 replacement evergreens for I-55 and Route 53 interchange are also included for $29,000. The total cost is $437,500, which is $62,500 under the budget amount of $500,000. These trees, those costs per tree is planted, that's installed. We don't buy them and then have our staff plant them. These landscapers put them in. And it's a variety of different circumstances. Again, the I-55 interchange, which was planted some years ago, and I have dozens of compliments about how attractive our interchange looks. Some of those trees have died, and we need to clean that up. So that's what this covers. Public Service Committee has reviewed and recommends approval. These are Bolingbrook landscapers, so we're keeping the business here in Bolingbrook. Questions? Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Zarate.
Yes.
Trustee Lawler.
Yes.
Trustee Costa.
Yes.
Trustee Watts.
Yes.
Trustee Carpenzano.
Yes.
Trustee Jaskowitz.
Yes. Next resolution approving the purchase of new chlorination equipment for treatment plant effluent disinfection at Water Reclamation Facility Number 2 from Sidner Environmental Services. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion trustee Lawler, second trustee Zarate. This resolution approves the purchase of chlorination equipment for effluent, I just said all this, effluent disinfection of sewage treatment plant 2 on West Boughton Road. The current equipment is in need of repair and no longer complies with the Illinois Environmental Protection Agency and National Pollutant Discharge Elimination System standards. The purchase is from Sidner Environmental Services and $27,450, which is $9,455 over budget. Public Service Committee has reviewed and recommends approval. This is kind of a maintenance thing. EPA keeps changing their standards. Equipment gets better. This equipment is no longer complies, so we have to replace it to stay in compliance. Probably won't be a lot of questions on this. Questions? Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Zarate.
Yes.
Trustee Lawler.
Yes.
Trustee Basta.
Yes.
Trustee Watts.
Yes.
Trustee Carpenzano.
Yes.
Trustee Jaskowitz.
Yes. Next resolution is approving a memorandum of understanding by and between the Village of Bolingbrook and the Village of Thornton, Illinois, statewide auto theft task force. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion trustee Carpenzano, second trustee Jaskowitz.
Yes.
The Illinois Secretary of State Office has created an auto theft task force. They received a 4-year grant from the auto insurance industry to fund that task force. The lead agency is the Village of Thornton. This resolution approves an intergovernmental agreement, commonly called an IGA, with Thornton. The village will be assigning one officer to the task force. The village will be fully reimbursed for salary, benefits, pension, and overtime for the cost of this police officer. Insurance, vehicle, and fuel are provided by the task force. The village may withdraw the officer within 30 days' notice. The Public Safety Committee has reviewed and recommends acceptance. We have done these kinds of things over the years with different task forces and so forth. We have a lot of benefit, kind of gives us inside knowledge of what's going on in the suburbs, so we get some free police information just because we have a guy involved, or girl, involved in the task force. Any comment, Director of Public Safety Temple?
No, wait. We've been in these types of task forces before, like the mayor said. This is specifically to focus on auto thefts, cargo thefts, anything related to the transportation of anything with a motor or engine in it. So boats, snowmobiles, ATVs, heavy equipment, the theft of those type of that type of material, and it's Chicago land suburb wide. So if the group is outside our borders, we still have authority to investigate them.
And I'll just add, I think one of the major benefits that we saw from our discussion was the skill set that this officer is going to attain during that time that they're a part of this task force. And so whenever that time comes and that duty ends, that skill set comes back to Bolingbrook, and they become the expert on whatever it is they've been working on during that time. So just wanted to add that.
Any questions? Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Zarate.
Yes.
Trustee Lawler.
Yes.
Trustee Basta.
Yes.
Trustee Watts.
Yes.
Trustee Carpenzano.
Yes.
Trustee Jaskowitz.
Yes.
Mentioning the Secretary of State's office reminds me, I was told recently that one of our state senators said I said no to a driver's license facility, And before that incorrect rumor goes anywhere, I just thought I'd correct it and let you all know too. I've been lobbying for a Secretary of State's driver's license facility since the early 80s, before I was mayor. Jim Edgar, who was Secretary of State for 8 years, was a friend of mine in college. And quite honestly, as a friend, I thought I had an inside track to get a driver's license facility in Bolingbrook. Well, quite candidly, DuPage County politics and Pate Phillip won out over Will County politics, and they put one at 75th Street, which many of us, I'm sure, have been to over the years. We have lobbied through Jim Edgar's tenure, I have lobbied through George Ryan's tenure, and I've lobbied through Jesse White's tenure. I've talked to Tom Benango, his chief of staff, but over the years, they just didn't have the funds to do that. Well, now that they build the gas taxes in, they probably got a budget that it could build a driver's license facility. The downside is we don't have as much land left for that. They initially thought about going into what we call the Century Tile Center. 53 and 55 has been empty now for the most part for several years. But we were concerned because they wanted to also put in a CDL, commercial driver's license testing facility, which would mean you'd have semi-trailers coming in and out of there on a regular basis. That's not a good mix with a retail center. Now, granted, it's still empty, but at the time, we didn't know how long it would be empty, and we were concerned about putting that kind of facility in what would be a pedestrian retail shopping mall. I pitched, at the time, the Village Ford building, which had closed and was empty. And I thought that would be perfect. South side of 55, a large structure, bays to pull vehicles in, do testing, whatever, front office area, which was the sales room of the Village Ford. But as Jesse told me, they had no money. So they couldn't move forward. They were just dead in the water. Well, apparently now there's money again, and we will make a pitch to get a driver's license facility, but we only said no to semi-trailers, which I think you would agree if we put a CDL facility in a retail shopping mall would be, what are you thinking, you know? So that's really the status of the driver's license facility. Back to the agenda. Our next resolution approving a purchase of 13 2020 Ford Interceptor utility hybrid vehicles under the Suburban Purchasing Cooperative. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion trustee Basta, second trustee Lawler. This resolution approves the purchase of 13 replacement patrol cars for the police department. The vehicle purchased from Curie Motors through the Suburban Purchasing Cooperative Program. The vehicles are 2020 Ford Hybrid Interceptors. Each vehicle is being replaced, has over 80,000 miles on it. Vehicle costs are, well, Curie Motors, $497,809. Adding to that, watch guard, vehicle fleet safety, camera installation, sign and banner, computers, custom signaling antennas, bring the total cost to $735,157.50 for 13 squad cars. The balance of the equipment necessary will be transferred from existing squad cars to the new squad cars. Public Safety has reviewed and recommends approval. We did not bid this per se, but we thought it through a purchasing cooperative, which involves how many communities? Dozens?
Well, most of them in Chicago area, but the co-op then does the master bid.
Yeah. So we bid it through them. Questions? Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Zarate.
Yes.
Trustee Lawler.
Yes.
Trustee Basta.
Yes.
Trustee Watts.
Yes.
Trustee Carpenzano.
Yes.
Trustee Jessup.
Yes.
Next resolution approving a purchase of a video camera network system from WatchGuard. Another motion.
So moved.
Second.
Motion trustee Basta, second trustee Watts. In conjunction with the purchase of the 13 new patrol cars, the software for the in-car video dash cams need to be purchased. The village is transitioning from locally storing data to cloud-based storage, which is this software enables. The purchase is from WatchGuard, the amount of $37,150. The amount is $553 under budget. Approved again by Public Safety. Reviewed and recommends approval. Questions? Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Zarate.
Yes.
Trustee Lawler.
Yes.
Trustee Basta.
Yes.
Trustee Watts.
Yes.
Trustee Carpenzano.
Yes.
Trustee Jessup.
Yes.
Next ordinance approving special use permit for a planned development for a nail salon and spa establishment, Dazzle Nails and Spa, 128 East Boughton Road. Is there a motion?
So moved.
You like-
Second.
Well, they're all excited about nail salon.
Check that out.
I think Trustee Carbonaro, Trustee Carbonaro was
Well,
a
I
little
can't
more
wait for the grand
excited.
opening, yeah.
We'll give it to him.
Motion by everybody, seconded by everybody. Who wants credit for the motion? Shelby? Seconded by Carpenzano. Shawa doing business as Dazzle Nails and Spa seeking approval of special use permit to allow nail salon and day spa in 1,837 square feet, a tennis space at Julian's Plaza, northeast corner of 53 Mountain. That's behind, oh, I know, it's behind Andy's. That's why you like it.
Yeah. It's an all-day
At Portillo's. It's an on-sales tax generating business, so requires a special use. This ordinance approves special use. Plan Commission approve, recommends approval. Questions? Well, stunning, there's no
Not
question.
for the idea, but more about them.
They do spa pedicures if you want to know.
Excellent.
Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Zarate?
Yes.
Trustee Lawler?
Yes.
Trustee Basta?
Yes.
Trustee Watts?
Yes.
Trustee Carpenzano?
Yes.
Trustee Jessup?
Yes. Okay, more excitement coming. Ordinance approving special use permit for a planned development for a nail salon and spa, Zeta Nails and Spa, 333 North Weber Road. Motion? Oh,
So
you're afraid
moved.
now.
Second.
Motion trustee Bassett, second trustee Zarate. Melinda Quash, doing business as Zeta Nails and Spas, currently located at Maple Park Plaza. She'd like to expand her business and relocate to 332 North Weber within the same retail center. The center zone commercial requires special use. Questions? All in favor say aye. Or roll call vote, please.
Trustee Zarate?
Yes.
Trustee Lawler?
Yes.
Trustee Basta?
Yes.
Trustee Watts?
Yes.
Trustee Carpenzano?
Yes.
Trustee Jessup?
Yes. Next ordinance approving special use for planned development for commercial recreation facility, the F45 Fitness, 554 West Mountain Road. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion trustee Lawler, second trustee Watts. Businesses Fab and Fit Fitness is seeking approval of special use permit for 2,950 square feet of tennis space at the Oak Square Retail Plaza, 554, it's behind Doggy Daycare, isn't it?
Yes.
You can drop your dog off and go to the gym. The center is zone B2 community retail, does not generate sales tax, requires a special use. Plan Commission reviewed, recommends approval. Questions? Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Zarate?
Yes.
Trustee Lawler?
Yes.
Trustee Basta?
Yes.
Trustee Watts?
Yes.
Trustee Carpenzano?
Yes.
Trustee Jessup?
Yes.
I guess it came up at the Plan Commission, and I'll bring it up here, and Jim and I have talked about it. I think we need to take a look at our special uses. It's clear that the retail world, as we knew it, is pretty much gone. These retail centers that don't generate sales tax, we need to get special uses. I think we need to take a look at the special use requirements, and some of these, we need the nail salons, take them off the list. I mean, clearly, who would ever thought we'd have as many nail salons as we have? But you obviously have the customer base because I guess some of you people are, you want more choices, yeah. So we'll be bringing that back, hopefully, through the Planning Commission at some point. Do we have a roll call yet? Roll call vote in the gym, the gym, please.
Trustee Zarate?
Yes.
Trustee Lawler?
Yes.
Trustee Basta?
Yes.
Trustee Watts?
Yes.
Trustee Carpenzano?
Yes.
Trustee Jessup?
Yes.
Our next ordinance, amending Chapter 13 of the Municipal Code, increasing Class C from 9 to 10 for, Maria?
What?
You got to print it.
Name.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. It's called Marisco Mi Estilo La Perla. That's the name.
Okay, well, just keep going, you're on a roll.
LLC, so it's Marisco Mi Estilo La Perla. So it is fish made.
Well, no, wait, it's a restaurant.
like
The
the
restaurant
pro-
would like to serve beer and wine. This ordinance increases the C license from 9 to 10 to accommodate the request. Questions?
Get a motion, get a motion.
Roll call vote, please.
Can I get a motion?
Motion.
So motion. Motion, trustee Watts, second trustee Lawler. Questions? Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Zarate?
Yes.
Trustee Lawler?
Yes.
Trustee Basta?
Yes.
Trustee Watts?
Yes.
Trustee Carpenzano?
Yes.
Trustee Jessup?
Yes.
We have several new restaurants that have opened on 53. Been a very good year for restaurants. Hopefully it'll continue. Next, we have an ordinance amending Chapter 13 of municipal code decreasing Class C1 from 5 to 4, Class D2 from 19 to 18, Class D1 from 24 to 23, the beer market, 641 East Mountain Road. Beer market's being sold, and when somebody sells a restaurant liquor license, we take the license away, so the license cannot be sold. So we take it back, and we'll reissue it to the new owner. So this motion simply takes it away since it's being sold. Questions?
No, motion.
Or motion?
Second.
Second.
Motion, trustee Lawler, second trustee Jazzowitz. Questions? Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Zarate?
Yes.
Trustee Lawler?
Yes.
Trustee Basta?
Yes.
Trustee Watts?
Yes.
Trustee Carpenzano?
Yes.
Trustee Jessup?
Yes. Now, this ordinance amends Chapter 13 municipal code, increasing C1 from 4 to 5, D2 from 18 to 19, D1 from 23 to 24. The place is going to be called the Two Pints Lounge. It's not formerly a beer market, 641 East Mountain Road. It's in the mall, for I think you all know that. It's right across from Classy Nails. You're probably familiar with that.
Next to Alta. Right next to Alta, we can get the supplies.
Yeah, you can have 2 pints and go get your,
Hair product.
I'm sorry, I didn't look. I don't know. Is the owner of 2 Pints here? Come on up, if you don't mind. A local resident that's always wanted to do something, and he's doing it. Why don't you go on the microphone, please? And I'm sorry, I didn't think to ask before the meeting if you were here. Would you identify yourself and so forth?
Yes, my name is Val, and my last name is Buriana.
You've got to talk close to the mic.
Oh, yeah, sure. First, I want to thank you for inviting me here. And thank you all for giving me this opportunity. Right now, the beer market is focusing on selling the variety of beers. Our focus will be to bring people together. We'll do a grand opening soon, and our idea will be just to create a place where you can have a drink with a friend and enjoy time.
What kind of menu?
We'll do some changes to the menu, and we'll add some more food. We'll keep the pizzas, the burgers, and all that stuff too.
Questions?
Well, as you mentioned, the beer market specializes in having a large variety of beers.
Yes.
Will you maintain that large selection or reduce it?
Not all of them. We'll focus on, we'll improve the menu, the food, we'll improve the food. And then, yeah, we'll keep some of the beers, but not all of them.
Okay. Thank you.
Any questions?
We need a motion.
What actual date will this expire?
The expiration?
No, when do you actually take over?
We are, as soon as possible.
Well, I understand that, but you have a seller, the buyer. Do you have a contract date set?
This Friday, yes.
Okay, this Friday. So it'll be 2 Pints Lounge Friday night.
Yes.
Any other questions?
The name. What led to that particular name?
The name?
Mm-hmm. 2 Pints.
Well, I think that, having a beer by yourself, it's not very good. But when you have it with someone, with a friend of yours, it's much better. So basically a company,
Got it. Thank you.
So when your friends are, it's 2 pints. If it was you, it'd be the 1 Pint Lounge.
So, yes.
Okay.
I'll make a motion, we approve it.
Okay, thank you.
We didn't have a motion yet?
No, not yet.
Most trustee Jesuit, second?
Second.
Second trustee Basta. Questions? Roll call vote, please. You're in.
Trustee Zarate?
Yes.
Trustee Lawler?
Yes.
Trustee Basta?
Yes.
Trustee Watts?
Yes.
Trustee Carpenzano?
Yes.
Trustee Jessup?
Yes.
Okay, that's the end of our formal agenda. Now we have questions in the audience. Where'd he go?
He left.
He left?
He left.
You know, we did a lot of stuff in an hour and 5 minutes. Most municipalities, they'd be at about 11:15 now. So I'm sorry, left. The question was going to be, we want to know if we would change our rules to allow a car to park over the sidewalk from like 11 o'clock at night until the next morning. Sidewalks are sidewalks, and every time somebody parks over a sidewalk, you as a collective audience watching would be surprised how many people would give their kids a walk, just like to go for a walk their dog, and obviously not necessarily at 2 o'clock in the morning, but how do you administer that? And then you get people that have wheelchairs. It just goes on and on. So there's no, you can't park over the sidewalk. And I'm sorry, it just doesn't work, especially when I think there's an alternative in this particular case. Along that same line, I saw a posting a couple weeks ago by a resident who was, again, not terribly, well, suggesting we put sidewalks on on Weber Road from where the new Atria nursing home is, or not nursing home, a retirement center, whatever you want to call it, across from Hobby Lobby, all the way into Naperville. We should have sidewalks. Well, first of all, it costs a fortune. And I'm not so sure how many people literally want to walk from here to Naperville. It's a long way to virtually anything. And of course, the comment was, we need more sidewalks so you could walk and ride your bikes. Ladies and gentlemen, sidewalks are not for bicycles. In fact, it's prohibited to ride cycles. So when people post this stuff, it's very disconcerting because they're putting something out that's just stupid. And when they do that, it's like, why do you do that? And get people to say, oh yeah, good idea. We should have sidewalks all the way to Naperville so you can ride a bike on it. One, you can't ride a bike on it. And two, we have limited resources. There's lots of places that I think are more concerned in putting a sidewalk a mile and a half long into downtown Naperville, or where the nearest sidewalk is. Okay. Anyone else in the audience have anything to say? Trustee comments?
There's a gentleman here, Mayor, I'm sorry.
Oh, yes, I'm sorry. Raj. Sure. Sorry.
My name is Raj Sahai. I wanted to come here and speak on behalf of my business associates. Next year, we'll be celebrating our 50th anniversary for the truck stop at Bolingbrook. As you know, times have changed. The business is getting more competitive. I spoke to the mayor. I understand what the board is here about regarding video gaming. And we have been asking that as a business, we look at our competitors and we have to we want to be in an even play. So the request that I'm coming here to make is for us to allow video gaming, to allow us to be competitive. When you have companies like Speedway, they come right across us. They're going to have 5 terminals for the trucks.
That's not true.
Or 4 terminals.
They will not have any.
They have trucks that'll be coming in.
Well, they have trucks, but no video.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying they'll be having trucks coming in.
No, that's true.
Now we're talking about Thornton Gas Station that's opening right across, on Route 53.
No, it's actually Joliet Road in Romeoville.
Yeah, it's in Romeoville. So our neighbors in Romeoville, they have approved back in 2015. Our neighbors in Woodridge have approved back in 2017. The times are changing, and I understand all the moral values. And like I said, I came to Bolingbrook in 1975. I used to remember old Chicago. I used to remember Jane Addams Middle School when I was going 9 weeks of school and 3 weeks of vacation. That was all year round. So Bolingbrook is very much passionate to me. My friends used to tease me, saying, why do you call it Bolingbrook? Call it Boringbrook. No, Bolingbrook has changed, and it has become, thanks to the mayor, he has done a great job. I don't know if you remember us, Mayor, we used to own a game room called Spectrum, and there used to be a game room called Wizard. These are back in the late 70s and 80s. But what I'm saying is that we would, if the board can consider regarding video gaming for truck stops, and just imagine how many truckers have passed. Imagine, well, all these years, we're still here. We took the establishment back in 1995, so we are part of that truck stop for the last half the century on that. So I just want to thank everyone, thanks the board for listening. And in terms of the retail, as you know, it's a dying business. I think we can generate good revenue. And, most of the truck stops that are on highways, on different cities are allowed. And I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak. Thank you.
The video gaming we opted out of some years ago. Romeoville does have it, and there's a new Thornton's truck stop being built at Joliet Road and 53, and I'm told it'll have 10 video poker stations. Speedway across the street from this, from the Union, well, it's not Union 7, it's what the new current name of the truck stop, will not have them. Thornton's on Weber Road is going to be constructed next to Tilted Kill, will not have it. We don't have that. We opted out of cannabis, retail sales of cannabis. We don't have tattoo parlors. We don't have hookah bars. We've just avoided all those things. Personally, I have a real problem in balancing municipal budgets on gambling and drugs, and that's what we've come to in the state of Illinois between the new expansion of casinos, video poker, and the sale of pot, which is, I don't know. I don't know where it's going to go. We'll see how that plays out. I have no, truck stops carved out to their lobbyists in Springfield the ability to have video poker without a liquor license. Everybody else, I believe, has to have a liquor license, which I find stunning. They'd pass a law that the only way you could have video poker is show your alcohol. I guess there's a tendency to spend more money if you're having a few cocktails. In fact, I know there is. I've seen it. Firsthand. The truck stops have a better lobbyist than others. It's allowed in bars, American Legions, VFW Hall. We don't have a VFW Hall. We don't have an American Legion. We don't have those kinds of, because we're too new of a community. We're only 53 years old. You'll find those in older cities such as Joliet and Aurora. We don't really have any bars. We really only have like 2 bars in Bolingbrook. The rest are restaurants that serve alcohol as a supplement to their main function of the restaurant. In fact, you can't get a liquor license unless you do 65% food business. So tailgaters would be considered a bar. It's a little older. Quinlan Times would be a bar. Is that it?
That's it.
2. The rest are all restaurants. And frankly, I've gone into places where I've seen the video poker machines lined up, and I think it's personally kind of obnoxious. But that's me. I'm no prude. I've been to Las Vegas. No, we're done. Oh, well, okay. I'm sorry, Raj. What else would you like to say?
No, I just, times have changed. I understand.
I understand times have changed, but that doesn't mean...
Being competitive with the neighbors, being competitive with the, we pay the gas tax. We don't want truckers to go in Thornton and...
All right, well, you got to go to the mic if you want to speak more, but you made that point earlier.
I'm not, just that...
All right, well, let me just say, is there anybody here who has an interest in going video poker?
No.
Maria?
No.
Mike?
No.
Sheldon?
No.
Mary?
No.
Mike? Bob? So, I'm sorry, but we're just not interested in going that direction. Rick, did you want to say something?
I did, Mayor. Thank you. Rick Morales, Bolingbrook resident. Just to counter what the gentleman mentioned, I totally understand as a resident of town and knowing business in town what he's talking about. Businesses are very competitive. Being in banking myself, there are banks across the street from each other, next door to each other, very competitive. It's part of the system we live in, capitalism. What I don't like, and I agree with the mayor and the board, is video gaming in our town. I believe the business owners that he represents live out of town, so they really don't probably care too much about the culture of our town and the environment that we're setting. They're more interested in profits, which, again, I understand. They are business owners, and that's expected. I'll read to you a quick paragraph of an article from 2019. In the 6.5 years since video gaming went live in September 2012, some 30,000 video slot and poker machines have been installed at 6,800 locations around Illinois, more than in any other state. Gamblers here have lost over $5 billion playing the machines, which have been described as electronic morphine and the crack cocaine of gambling. For these businesses to make money off these machines, somebody has to lose it. And statistics show that most of those people losing the money are people that are with limited means, which creates another problem for society. So I would caution you, if anybody's thinking about it, please consider the source of these machines, where they come from, who's making the money, and who's losing out, and what it would do to our town in terms of perception. That's all I had. Thank you.
Well, in addition to the money that's lost, truck stops are for truckers traveling across country. They pull in, they can only drive so many hours at a time. It's very tightly restricted by transportation regulations. So we put these in, so instead of resting as they're supposed to, they can sit and play video poker for a couple hours and then get back on the road. I find it stunning, just like you have to have alcohol to have a video poker machine. But that's Springfield.
Mayor, can I just comment on what the gentleman has said? Is that okay?
Well, you can comment
come to
after
Mike.
the meeting. We have no executive session tonight.
Trustee comment.
Oh, trustee comments. Maria.
Thank you, Mayor. Friends of the Levy Center will be hosting their spaghetti dinner on Friday, October 25th from 5 to 8 at 251 Canterbury Lane here in Bolingbrook. And just a reminder to all our constituents, I just want to let you know that fall is here. Fall back 1 hour. Set your clocks back on 1 hour on Sunday, November 3rd. And that's all I have for today. Thank you.
Just want to announce there's several Fall Fest activities coming up, and one is at High Point Church, which used to be in Bolingbrook and is now along Wyndham Parkway. It'll be this Saturday from 3 to 6 p.m. It's actually in Romeoville, but if you take Remington Boulevard, you'll find Wyndham Parkway down there. Several of our residents are members of that church and wanted to share the information about a family-friendly activity.
Trustee Lawler?
Yes.
Just so you know, they actually call it High Point Bolingbrook, even though it's in Romeoville. I found that interesting.
Yeah, and they used to be in Bolingbrook. So.
Right, they kept the name.
So, before our next board meeting, Bolingbrook High School is going to present an evening of honor, and that's representing and honoring our first responders and military. Every year, this is a great musical event. The talents of our youth at Bolingbrook High School music programs put on a great event, and that'll be Wednesday, November 6th at 7 p.m. at Bolingbrook High School in the auditorium. It is free admission to first responders, current military, and veterans, and then general admission for $5. And a great event, and great evening, and a great purpose for gathering. And as we were discussing earlier in our Public Services Committee meeting, the village is looking for independent snowplow drivers for contract work. And there are several qualifications to go along with that, but qualified snowplow drivers with vehicles can earn $95 an hour, is that right?
Yes.
And there's information on the village website, and you can certainly reach out to Public Works for more information about serving our fellow residents. And that's it. Thank you.
Town Center will be closed on Monday, November 11th, 2019, in observance of Veterans Day. There will be no delays in garbage pickup for the holiday. If you have any situation that need immediate attention, please contact the non-emergency line at 630-226-8660. There will be a Veterans Memorial Ceremony here at Village Hall on November 11th at 11 a.m. Please join us for that if you're able to. And Coffee with the Chiefs is coming up November 5th, and it will be at Chick-fil-A, 245 North Weber Road. Always a fun event, and that is at 8 a.m. Thank you. That's all I have.
I'd like to start by congratulating all our new appointees and re-appointees to the various commissions. We appreciate you stepping up to serve, and we thank you. It's the volunteer engine that helps the village accomplish a lot of important tasks. So we thank you and congratulations again. A few announcements here. Prescription drug take back. Please spread the word. That's Saturday, October 26th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. They want you to know that items accepted include expired prescription drugs, unwanted or unused prescription drugs, over-the-counter drugs, patches, vitamins, syrups, ointments, and creams. The items that are not being accepted are things like syringes, Sharpies or Sharps, injectable drugs, illicit drugs, clearly, oxygen containers, and pressurized canisters and medical equipment. This is really about preventing a public safety issue and concern that can lead to accidental poisoning, overdose, and abuse. Director Tupper, did you want to add something there?
So we are a hub for the surrounding departments too. So a lot of the other agencies are collecting these types of materials also, and then they'll bringing them here, and we're turning it all over to the DEA. And there will be a poundage for the village of Bolingbrook, and a total poundage too. So once I have that, I will pass that on, and we will relay that information.
All right, thank you, sir. Again, that's Saturday, October 26th. You have something else?
Yeah, I'd just like to add, do not flush those drugs down the toilet because the treatment plant process does not remove them and they wind up in the street.
Thank you for that PSA. Again, that's Saturday, October 26th, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Drop-off location is the Bolingbrook Police Department. That's right here at 375 West Briarcliff Road. Any questions regarding this, you can call 630-226-8660. Two other quick announcements. The Community Mobile Pantry taking place again at Bolingbrook location, New Hope Baptist Church. That's 509 East Briarcliff Road. The 2 Mondays for November and December are November 4th from 4 to 6 and December 2nd from 4 to 6 p.m. Again, that's put on by the New Hope Baptist Church in partnership with the Northern Illinois Food Bank. And then finally, the Bolingbrook IT Commission wants you to know about their Internet Safety Seminars, Saturday, November 2nd, 10 a.m. to 4. That is taking place at the Fountaindale Library, Meeting Room B on the first floor. They'll be presenting a series of seminars on computer and internet safety tailored for specific age groups. So come on out and learn about that. Any questions, you can go to www.bobitc.org. They want you to register on that website, but walk-ins are welcome. Thank you very much.
I want to give a big kudos to not only this village board, but of course previous village boards, village staff. The upgraded credit rating is something that we should all celebrate. So a kudos to especially previous boards because that was some foresight there to take us to where we are today. Some events coming up. They're all Halloween related, I believe. This Saturday, October 26th, the event is called This Is Halloween. It's an event inspired by Jack Skellington and The Nightmare Before Christmas. The highlights of the event are going to be the costume parade at about 5:45 in the evening, and then the actual 60-foot Christmas tree is going to light. The Halloween tree lighting will be right around 6:15. Again, that's this Saturday. Everyone is welcome to come on out, and actually every night thereafter through November 10th, the Halloween music and light show on the big 60-foot tree will go on the hour from 5 until 9 p.m. Trick-or-treating hours for Halloween is announced 4 to 7 p.m. on Halloween, Thursday, October 31st. I know I've read a couple of the tips. One of my favorites, of course, is if you're interested in folks knocking on your door, please keep your porch light on. Of course, we encourage everyone to use sidewalks and crosswalks when available, and please be safe out there. If you encounter anything that you determine suspicious, you are welcome to bring that to the Bolingbrook Police Department. The Spirit of Halloween House Judging, that is this coming weekend, including Friday, so October 25th, 26th, and 27th. The Beautification Commission awards those residents with the most festive Halloween decorations. So please, all you have to do is make sure that your house number is visible and that your decorations are up and they drive by every street in town. And then last but not least, on Halloween, October 31st from 5 until 9 p.m., the Boardman Cemetery Halloween Open House. Free event. I'm sure it's spooky. Tours are every 20 minutes, and treats and refreshments are served. A big thank you to the Bolingbrook Historic Preservation Commission for hosting. That's all.
Just two quick announcements. One, and Trustee Zarate already mentioned it, this Friday at the Levy Center is Friends of the Levy Center sponsoring the pasta dinner. It's $8 a person. Come on out, have a good time, enjoy some free food, save yourself from cooking on Friday. And the last thing is save the date. On November 16th is our Festival of Lights. It's one of our biggest fall-winter festivals that the village sponsors. It's a full day of activities for a family. You can have a great, I think it's the Beautification Commission that puts on.
Combination.
Which one?
Between the two commissions.
Yeah, the various commissions put this on. They have a great opportunity for you to see Santa, take part in lots of arts and crafts type activities and things. And then the actual lighting of the tree is just a tremendous experience. And listen to the music for the first time for this season. So save the date, November 16th. And what time is the tree lighting itself? Do you know?
I think it's around 6:15.
Yeah, we're at dusk or just right around night when it gets dark. Okay, thank you.
We have no executive session, the motion adjourns in order.
So moved.
Second.
Motion trustee Vasa, second trustee Watts. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. We stand adjourned.